my YouTube channel. Please like, subscribe, and share. So today's movie spoiler would be The Devil's Conspiracy. If you're into spiritual movies and Bible movies, this one is like a mixture of spiritual, Bible, and also action. Okay, so the devil conspiracy starts with the story of the devil going against God, or let me say Lucifer going against God in heaven. He is defeated by Archangel Michael, who throws him down to hell. Michael goes back to hell with the devil, tries to convince the devil to change, or let me say Lucifer to change his evil ways and turn back. He'll be forgiven. But Lucifer refuses and is rather trying to convince Michael to join him. So Michael, having no choice, decides to pin Lucifer with his sword he uses in heaven. Devil stays in hell and for a very long time has been plotting a way to get out of hell. So fast forward years and years down the lane, we see or we are shown a student called Laura. She's a thesis student that is writing about an artist who creates statues of angels and the devils, and she says she doesn't believe that the devil exists. Laura is invited by her friend, a priest, to a museum which was opening, and that was going to be showing the shroud and also the DNA of Jesus Christ. So Laura goes to this museum and then he shows her a peculiar statue of Angel Michael stepping or having defeated the devil and stepping on it. So she stays back in the museum and then she's drawing this particular statue. So around evening time, when the museum was about to be closed, we see a woman covered in a shroud. She's entered into the museum, and then we realize that she's trying to steal the shroud and also the DNA of Jesus we are talking about. And then in so doing, she ends up analyzing the security guard and also the priest, Laura's friend. And Laura was hiding herself, but unfortunately, she's found out by the evil people, and then she's taken away she's taken away with the shroud and also the DNA. Before the priest actually dies, he prays to God or the angel, and Angel Michael responds by transporting or taking over the priest's body. So in the priest's body, he attacks or he tries to attack the people that have taken Laura in the shroud, but unfortunately, he's not able to do it. Laura is taken. She wakes up in an enclosed glass place locked up with three other women, including her. She feels they cannot find out why they are also captured or why they are also there. And then we are shown the priest whose body has been possessed by Angel Michael. He's gone to find Harden Franchini, who initially was the protector of the shroud, in order to gain answers to why the shroud was taken in the first place. So he finds Harden, and Harden then reveals to him that actually that was the disciples of Lucifer, and then they are trying to free Lucifer from hell. Angel Michael doesn't believe what Hardin is saying about them trying to free Lucifer, but he goes on to prove that initially they found out that they could get or they could free Lucifer by using children or babies. But unfortunately, it wasn't working because Lucifer has so much anger, it ends up consuming the children. So then they found out that they could actually free Lucifer if they use a woman. So that was why Laura and the three other women were captured. They have been capturing women, and then they will try to um, let Lucifer take over their bodies and also inseminate them or impregnate them with Lucifer's DNA in order to have a baby for Lucifer. When the baby is born, they can be Lucifer can be able to possess the baby and come to earth. So that was the information Haddon had given to Angel Mike. Fortunately, most of the women were not surviving. That is, they were not compatible with Lucifer. So most of them were dying off. So the women or let me say, the scene goes back to Laura and the three other women. They put up a fight, but unfortunately, the men are take them into the room, and the insemination process starts. So they inseminate the women, when women are out of it, by the time the women come through, they're dressed in wedding gowns and offered as brides to Lucifer. All the women couldn't survive Lucifer's possession, because now Lucifer is passive from hell, so that's why he could even possess a soul. Only Laura could pass through it. Lucifer could possess her, and it seemed like the insemination had worked. She was now pregnant for Lucifer. So she's taken back. Laura is taken back because it seems like she's the chosen one. On the other hand, is able to sneak into the den of Lucifer's disciples and steal the shroud. He goes in to help Laura, and unfortunately for him, it was already too late. Laura had been inseminated, and before they would be able to escape, they were caught by Lucifer's henchmen. So after they are captured, Michael is changed, but he's able to free himself and quickly goes to hell because he still thinks the devil, or let's say Lucifer, is in hell. He goes to hell and finds out that Lucifer has actually escaped. But Lucifer's henchmen in hell are able to subdue Michael because Michael has possessed a mortal body. That mortal body has no strength. So they're able to capture Michael and lock him up in hell and say they are also leaving him there. And then Lucifer would find a way to bring all of them onto earth, and then they can dominate the earth. So Michael is there. Then it turns out that some of the people that um, Lucifer, the experiments of Lucifer had failed, had ended up in hell too. And then Michael was begging them to give him a sword. If he's able to get his sword, he'll be able to regain his former glory. Laura, on the other hand, she's inseminated, she's pregnant, and the pregnancy was growing. She's angry at the fact that they were using her for such experiments, and she doesn't even know the thing they had put inside her. Now, Lucifer starts sweet talking her into accepting the baby and him, and promising her everything you can think about. This particular woman, she was so jealous of the fact that she wasn't the one carrying Lucifer's baby. And at everything, she was also disturbing Laura. So at one point, Lucifer is able to move Laura's body into committing a lot of heinous crimes. That is, unaliving some of the staff workers at that particular facility. And then she gets scared and decides to unalive herself and the baby. But unfortunately for her, Lucifer is able to remove everything back. And that is when Lucifer reveals to this particular lady that after the baby is born, she should unalive Laura and also everybody that is part of their whole plan in order to keep the plan a secret. Michael too is still back in hell trying to convince those people to give him back the sword in order to go back, and that he would help take them back. So eventually they believe Michael, give Michael the sword, and Michael soars back to Earth in order to save Laura. So he gets to Laura and realizes that Laura has been secured in a box because of her attempt to murder the baby. She had been secured in the box. He tries talking to Laura, but unfortunately, Laura's body had been fully possessed by again, because Michael is still using the priest's mortal body. He's not strong enough. So at that place, Lucifer is able to defeat him again. And that is when Michael reveals something very crucial that Lucifer had overlooked. So that is where Michael then reveals to Lucifer that the baby he's trying to possess would actually be the baby that would be his downfall, because everything was a setup by God. He cannot defeat God, and God was the one who intentionally made all this to happen. So that at that point, Lucifer was very angry, and then he hits Michael there. So while Michael is lying down, he runs to that particular woman I've been talking about, the woman in the red dress. He runs to that woman and tells her, we have to analyze the baby. But due to Laura's previous plan of unaliving the baby, she thinks that it's a plan from Laura to unalive the baby, so she refuses and she carries Laura away. But right at that point, Laura is going into birth. She gives birth to a son, and then she's thrown into the pit of hell. And then the woman in the red dress takes the baby out and shows the baby to all of their people. So after showing the baby off, that is when the unaliving came. Remember, I said Lucifer said nobody should be left alive in order to spill their secrets. So all their members were unalived. And then we see that Michael has been able to regain himself. He goes to save Laura, and we find that Laura had not fallen into the pit of hell, but she was hanging on. So he was able to pull Laura out. And then he also reveals to Laura that the baby is actually not evil and that the baby is good. So Laura goes, attacks this woman in particular, and she's able to get her baby. So Laura leaves with the baby and the shroud. And then Michael goes back to close the hole that consists of Lucifer's disciples that are in hell and are trying to come to earth and dominate earth. He's able to close that particular portal, and then he fulfills his promise by going back for those people that were experimented on. He's able to go back for them, and then we see that the baby is with Laura. Laura and Hardin take the baby and the shroud to see the church, and then they see everything. But then they tell them that the baby is actually good. So, and in the story, we find out that Laura had lost her husband and her baby. So the baby was like a second chance for her. So she keeps the baby. And we realize that that particular woman, the woman in the red dress, I always call her, even over the years, as the baby was growing, she kept on trailing the baby because she believed in her heart that that particular baby was Lucifer. Then the movie ends there. Thank you very much. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like and subscribe, share, and then meet me another day. We'll do another movie spoiler, and then you will love it. Bye bye.